Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today on part 7, I think, we are continuing our 70 Roadrunner, and on this part, we're going to start out with the windows, so let's begin. Alright, so, there are a few different ways that we can do this. However, I like to go with the way that I do classic muscle cars, and that is to acknowledge that there is a chrome lip that kind of pops up. Yeah, that's a real thing. Okay. Now, first off, we need to figure out this, because we still got quite the gap from the bottom of the door, the top of the door to the window. So if we see that comes up and just kind of keeps rolling in, and this is the wrong thing. So, I need this up, flatten it a little, then it needs to be brought in. Let's rotate it. Then this can be set there. Very nice. Okay. So let's do this. So what we're going to do, go up to our top view. We're going to be doing the loops thing. However, alright, so let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What do we got in the back? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so got 5 and 2. Wonderful. So this will be 3. 4. Where do we? Oh, well, obviously we should put it here. 5. Okay, we can do the rear end then. So, same premise. So it does look like we might need some modifications here. Actually, ooh. That'll do. Yeah. Swell. Okay. Now what we'll do is that we'll just bridge these. Let's use what we learned from the last episode is what we found out. Edge. Bridge. Heck yes. Now, does this actually change anything? No, it doesn't. What's the point? Either way, yay. And there really isn't much action happening on the side here. Alright, and then what we'll do, bring out the 2s, plop that down, then we'll bring it up. This will emulate that chrome lip that I was talking about. If anything, let's actually... Nice. Alright, now that we got the back taken care of, we can focus on the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need one more, and it's probably going to have to be concentrated. Are you kidding me? Out of all the places I could have picked. Oh god, it's so concentrated that it's all the way back here. Yeah. Yeah, let's go with the 2s. Whoa. Twos. Chrome lip. Nice. Alright, side 1. Same deal, except we're going to have a little difference to it. We will bring it in, however, we're going to need to scale in the Z direction too. However, some things aren't too happy about that. So, unscale in the Z, which is just rescaling, but in the opposite direction. Same thing in the Y direction up front. Now we will need to select everything in this loop, because we need to scale it in the X to bring the top out and the bottom in. However, we also need to deal with this. Alright, so that's nicely sorted out. We need our little pillar. So, select 2 points. I'm going to place that there. Drag it out. Do it again here a little. We need to do it there too. So, G method. G, bring that over. There. Alright, got 2 pillars. Let's see, we got 1, we need 3 to the bottom. Now there's 2 ways to do, that I do the windows. However, because we are dealing with a classic muscle car and the windows kind of sink in to the trim, we are doing the classic style. Maybe I'll have to do another tutorial with a modern car and show some of the differences. Okay, so that's made. However, we're going to go with a 2 because this window is flat. And we don't want that, so we need to boost it out a little, rotate it. A little too much rotate. There we go. I guess we'll do the front first. Unscale the front. There's a 4. There's a 4. Wow, that worked way too perfectly. Ah, the back's not going to be that easy. Let's see. Let's take this here. And we should satisfy the top here first. This way. So yeah, that's gonna go that way. However, that'll work. One, two, three. Oh. Four. Ugly four. Four. Then I need twos. Alright, that looks pretty alright. Well, what we'll do is select this inner bit. We're going to go to vertexes, smooth vertices. We'll do it twice, just in case we made anything a little sharp. Hey, that looks nearly complete. Alright, we got one more thing to make this thing fully complete before we hit the high poly stage. Alright, next step is going to be applying the door lines. So, let's begin. We almost have all of them. Well, no, we don't have nearly any of them set up. So, what we're going to do is do that now. We will have to pay attention to our points. So let's see, this one, how's that gonna go? Well, let's look at a picture. Let's look at a rear so that we know exactly how these data points are going. So I need a rear that's not too dark. Okay, bumper line ends right there. So let's go to the trunk. Alright, so if you remember at the very beginning of this tutorial on episode 2, I believe, we had set up that line right away. And that was at the very beginning. And this one was kind of preset as well, so we'll deal with this one too. Alright, how about lines that were not preset at all? Well, when I say at all, I'd at least hope that you have something set up of it. Like this. We had these data points end at the door, and we're going to come in. And you said that lines. Well, I guess something I gotta point out for the tutorial. The door lines are gonna obviously have to be noticeable. As you can see, I'm not close to these door lines at all. If anything, I'm actually quite a bit inwards. This is because you need to make the door lines noticeable for the fact that A, this is a lot smaller than the real car, and B, chances are, unless you're resin printing this, the quality is going to drop from model to actual print. And lastly, paint. If you're going to paint this, you're going to lose some detail, as well as when you try to smoothen the print. You're going to lose some detail. So, we make the door lines a little bigger. Especially, this also goes along with what are you making this for? Are you making, well, a Zip Zap or Hot Wheels car? Something of that size where it's very tiny. So having larger door lines so then you don't lose them under painting and printing is even more important. However, usually when I do this, I like to keep it on the inside, just so then it doesn't make it too long. And then, let's see, I think these two are for the hood. Now, let's see. Before I make that mistake, we need a picture of the front. Alright, hood line, technically there's 2 lips of chrome. So it interfaces with 1. So let's see, we'll do 2, go to 1, and then do 1. That's a bit of a mess, but don't go too deep and add the crease. Very nice. Alright, we got the hood, we got this cowl, we got our doors, and we got the trunk and as well as the rear bumper. That's kind of it. Alright, on to the next step. Alright, so we have one more thing to do before we go to the high poly stage, and that is overview check. Except there's more to that than what I'm trying to get at here. There's obviously some details that we're missing here, don't you think? Well, we're missing a door handle. You don't have any exhaust. There ain't much happening here. And also that cowl that we pointed out. Okay, let me explain. Door handle, we could do that simple. Cowl, a simple square, and then refill. Grill. Well, again, with the limitations of the 3D printing, as well as painting, there's only so much that we could really do when it comes to painting. Which, granted, we could just leave this as an open hole, and there's not really, at least to my knowledge, any way to just simply do a grill texture, where it's just repeating lines everywhere, and it's a real hassle. Alright, understood. What about the exhaust? Well, with exhaust, considering that, depending on how you're printing this, FDM, plastic, or resin, do you really want the whole support of the rear of this car solely based on exhaust? Well, you'll find that out when you're ready to print this. So, for the model's sake, considering that I also have just throw-on exhaust that I have for templates, I am not going to hold that on. However, if you want to do that pretty much, well, except without the boolean, pretty much just the circle method of pretty much how we did the headlights. Just any circles we did without boolean. Alright. Door handle we can do, cowl we can do, so let's do those. So, door handle, super simple. We're just gonna steal some squares, make it come out. Because we're not gonna go too detailed into this wall. I would deem this as one of those things that are sandable. I mean, that kind of lose their detail upon sanding. We are still going to add it. There's also another thing that I just realized that I did not do. Side mirrors. What do you do about side mirrors? That is also another template that I bring in. Because when it comes to, because sometimes I gotta make these for resin printing as well as plastic printing. And having small mirrors attached to the file is really annoying. That's sometimes even with resin, customers want the mirrors separate so then they can paint them properly and then glue them on. So we don't want that to be part of the actual model. And if you do, well, I'd imagine if we got this far in the car, you should know how to be able to make a mirror just by stealing one of these squares and mapping it around where the mirror is. Which, or in this case, make a circle. But we're not going to do that because I got my mirror template. Okay, same goes with wiper blades. I don't add wiper blades. It's just such a pain in the butt for the sole fact that it is hard to tape windows down to keep them clear. You just cannot do that with those. Alright. Ooh! Faces. Let's click save, why not? We had that freak incident last episode. I'm gonna bring this down. Ooh. Can't forget. You never want to well, unless you're purposely making a 5, you never, I hate that. You never want to accidentally make a 5. Because that becomes bad. Alright, we're not going to add all the little fins in there, because that's something that's just going to get lost in translation to 3D printing. I'm not going to add the spoiler. However, I do wish to, I'm going to add a 2. There needs to be more happening here for curvature, so let's do such. Same with bringing this out. Nice. And then one last thing I wish to do. Go to vertex and smooth these out a little. Alright, that looks a lot better already. Let's do the same thing on here, shall we? Vertex, smooth. Now you do want to watch how hard you use that, because sometimes it could make a rather hard line. Like it's really dragging it down here. Maybe. Ooh. Why does that work so well? Why does it kind of fail over there? Oh. That actually worked kind of nice. Cool, I'm glad that works. Alright, another thing before we get to... we'll do that during the high poly stage because we'll see it a little more. Alright, that's the end of this video. We have the low poly version complete. Look at that. Even if we go to material preview, why is it... Oh god, this red. There's no shine to it. What the heck? Oh well. Alrighty, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!